a video. See how that all goes. See how that all goes. First, take it around like that. What's close to you? It's mine.
Check the wind indicator at the bottom of the screen. The small arrow shows where the wind is coming from relative to the boat. Ideally, you want to steer a course which keeps the wind 10 to 20 degrees off the bows, with just enough speed to maintain control. This keeps the boom from being directly overhead and allows a good view of the sail as you hoist. Push the throttle forward and turn the bow towards the wind. So turn the wheel towards the wind indicator arrow. Once you are happy with the boat direction, reduce the throttle so you have just enough speed to be able to steer and engage the autopilot. You will be releasing the kicking strap and the main shaft to release the boom. You will then use the mainsail halyard to raise the mainsail. You need to release the boom to let the mainsail flap as you raise it. Click on the jammer button and open the main sheet jammer. Select the forward starboard winch and open the kicking strap jammer. Click on the forward port winch. On the forward port winch, click the control lines button and you will see the different. Now select the mainsail halyard. Pull the halyard by dragging down on the drag spot or by using the pull shortcut. When the sail will not go up any further, select the winch handle and use it to winch up the sail. Click on the winch button, then the down arrow to remove the winch handle. Click on the jammer button and close the main sheet jammer. Click on the control lines button and select the main sheet. Tighten the main sheet so the boom comes back to the center of the boat. If necessary, put on the winch handle and pull down on the hand's drag spot. If you want to, release the topping lift. That's on the forward starboard jammer. On some chartered boats, the topping lift is not intended to be adjusted, so you can decide not to use the topping lift. Now close the kicking strap jammer and tighten the kicking strap. If you have not released the topping lift, you may get a message saying that another line is preventing movement. If you're not using the topping lift, you can ignore this message. Drag on the screen to look up. You will see the mainsail and telltales. Click on the autopilot to cancel it. Now add some throttle if needed. Turn the boat to the port, away from the wind, and start sailing. You will need to be heading at least 30 degrees away from the wind. You have completed this tutorial. Sail to the next training buoy for adjusting the mainsail. Use more throttle if you want to get there quicker. The main sheet to control the mainsail, letting it out and bringing it back in, depending on the wind direction and the direction you want to go. Click pause if you need time to read. Before proceeding with this tutorial, you need to be familiar with the best sail angles for different points of sail. There are many good references on the internet and elsewhere. Throughout this tutorial, you may need to use some engine, as the mainsail will tend to pull the bow towards the wind. The mainsail should already be up. See the earlier tutorial. If not, raise the mainsail now. Steer the boat so that the wind is off your starboard beam. Steer until the wind indicator arrow is at 90 degrees to the boat. When the wind is off your beam, engage the autopilot. You're going to let the sail out, so it's at a better angle for sailing with the wind off the beam. Wrap the main sheet around the winch. That's the winch button, then third button from the top. The friction will enable you to hold the sheet against the force of the wind. Ensure that the main sheet is wrapped around the forward port winch. Then open the main sheet jammer. Let out the main sheet a little and the boom will swing out. Drag up on the drag spot under the hands or use the keyboard controls. If you zoom out, then look up, you will see the telltales. If they are flying horizontally, then the sail is at the best angle. You can also click on the button Show to see the telltales. The lower circle shows the mainsail. the boat should start to pick up speed. Keep gradually releasing the main sheet. At some point, the boom will be too far out and the boat will start slowing down again. A boom angle of about 45 degrees to the boat should be about right with the wind on the beam. Now bring the boom in again. Firstly, close the main sheet jammer. Put on the winch handle. Turn the winch handle to bring in the mainsail. Finally, remove the winch handle. You have completed this tutorial. Sail or motor to the next training buoy for unfurling and adjusting the jib. In this tutorial, you will learn how to unfurl and adjust the jib. For the jib, we use jib sheets to pull the sail out on either side. Remember to use the pause button if you need more reading time. Steer the boat on a course of about 330 degrees, so the wind is coming over the starboard bow. Engage the autopilot. Click on the aft port winch. First, you will need to release the furling line. Open the furling line jammer, which will allow the whole jib to unfurl. Now select the port jib sheet. Wrap the jib sheet around the winch. That's the winch button, then the third button from the top. pull the jib sheet by dragging down on the drag spot. Now jam the jib sheet using the self-tailing mechanism. Click the winch button, then the second button from the top. Now turn further away from the wind, so the wind is coming over your starboard beam. Engage the autopilot. Click on the button shown to see the telltales. You will need to let the jib out a little. To release the jib sheet, take the sheet off the self-tailing mechanism so it's wrapped around the winch. That's the winch button, then the third button from the top. Now drag up on the drag spot until the jib telltales are roughly horizontal. Jam the jib sheet into the self-tailing mechanism when the sail is as you want it. Click on the winch button, then the second button from the top. You have completed this tutorial. Sail or motor to the next training void for tacking and jibing. In this tutorial, you will learn how to tack and jibe safely. We will start with a tack. Before continuing, make sure your mainsail is up and jib is out. Steer a course so that you are close hauled on a heading of 300 degrees. In this tutorial, you will learn how to tack and jibe safely. We will start with a tack. Before continuing, make sure your mainsail is up and jib is out. Steer a course so that you are close hauled on a heading of 300 degrees. Engage the autopilot. Make sure both crew members are at the aft winches. You can click a winch twice to summon a crew member. Ensure that both jib sheets are wrapped around the winches but are not jammed by the self-tailing mechanism. Check there are no boats close by which may be in your path when you steer to starboard. To tack, you will be turning the bow through the wind, releasing the port jib sheet and taking in the starboard jib sheet. In real life, you would need to tell the crew when to act. Steer to starboard until the wind is 35 to 40 degrees off your port bow. As the bow comes through the wind, start pulling the starboard jib sheet. The crew member on the port winch will release and control the port jib sheet as long as it isn't jammed. Once you've tacked, you may find it easier to engage the autopilot. The starboard crew member can now adjust their jib sheet if necessary. Often in real life, the crew member releasing their sheet will take the sheet off the winch completely. If you do take the sheet off the winch, you still need to control it by maintaining a little tension. Otherwise, the line will end up wrapped all around the rigging. When jibing, the mainsail will be fully powered up, so needs to be controlled by bringing the boom into the middle of the boat first. The main sheet traveller should be centred and secure. Traveller adjustment is not available on this version of Esail. Try and maintain speed as the stern comes through the wind to reduce sudden heeling with the steering pulling to the windward. Be ready to steer with opposite lock and to ease the main sheet rapidly to keep control of the boat. You have completed this tutorial. Sail or motor to the next training buoy for reefing.